So, how are you with those coming of age movies, kids? I think sometimes you had to be female back in the 80s to maybe appreciate them. I won't say that as a blanket statement, but like 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire, guys could take something from those movies, right? But for I won't say the most part, but in my head anyway, growing up, I'm like, these are girls' movies. These aren't guys' movies. I mean, I learned to appreciate them later, if I'm being honest. And of course, there's way more than that. I mean, I guess you could say Dead Poets Society is maybe a coming of age movie. I'm a big Dead Poets fan. And then there's like The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Stand By Me, The Outsiders. The list goes on and on and on. But when it comes to the movie we're talking about here today, to me anyway, yeah, it's coming of age. But this one, my memories of it being a young man seeing it anyhow, was that it was naughty. It was edgy, and it had a little bit due south of the content that I was used to watching. Like when I was growing up, I didn't watch a lot of hard R anything. Part of that was being raised in church. Part of it's being raised with a Southern mom. Some of it was, well, not some of it. I'm sure all of it was, oh, I can't be watching that. That's the devil talking. Can't be putting that stuff in your head. But so like, it's going to be interesting to go back and watch this movie today, kids, with these eyes after many years, because I haven't seen this movie in forever, and see if any of it hits me the way it did when I was a young man, if I can remember back that far. But before we get into it today, kids, and this is a movie commentary, by the way, you've seen the thumbnail, you know what you're in for. So before we get into it, let's do this. Fast Times at Ridgemont High is a 1982 teen comedy and coming-of-age film that marked Amy Heckerling's debut as a feature director. Written by Cameron Crowe and based on his nonfiction book of the same name, the movie was inspired by his real-life experiences posing as a student at a Southern California high school. The film features an ensemble cast including Sean Penn, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Judge Reinhold, Phoebe Cates, more on that to come, Brian Backer, Robert Romanus, and Ray Walston, and has since become a defining entry in 1980s teen cinema. The story follows the ups and downs of several students over the course of an academic year. At its core are Stacey Hamilton and Mark Ratner, two younger teens navigating the complexities of dating and self-discovery, while their older friends Linda Barrett and Mike Damone act as self-proclaimed love experts. Other standout storylines include the misadventures of the one and only Jeff Spicoli, a laid-back surfer dude constantly clashing with his stern history teacher, Mr. Hand, and Stacy's older brother, Brad, a senior trying to juggle part-time jobs, car payments, and an uncertain relationship. And as we said before, this movie is a coming of age, and I'm going to, for some reason, I wasn't ready for this, so I'll have to edit this later. My apologies. It'll be all cleaned up. Okay, so as we said before, this film is a coming-of-age movie. And yes, released in 1982. My God, that feels like 100 years ago now. August 13th, 1982, to be specific. Running time, 90 minutes. The budget for this movie, this is good. The budget for this movie is a paltry $5 million. It's couch change. That's what that is. Because the box office for this movie, the domestic haul, was $27.1 million or $50 million. And I'm guessing that's domestic and international both, I assume. But that, kids, is your lowdown for Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So, Chris, coming of age movie, are you a fan of stuff like this? Do you care about labeling movies like that? Does any of that mean anything to you or no?
It's kind of a weird thing to call a movie, right? Did you just say anything that happens in high school or middle school is that those are all coming of age tales? There's way more of them now, right?
Yeah.
Especially TV series that you get anything from like hard dramas to comedies. It seems like, I mean, back in the day, they just called these like high school flicks, right? Like,
yeah,
Breakfast Club, Fast Times, Pretty in Pink. John Hughes flicks, that would be another name for them.
Good
to
pull.
some
Yeah.
extent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I am a fan of pretty much all of those movies that I just named. But I love I love Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It's a little more gritty. It kind of deals with some darker subject matter
Hmm.
to some extent. One of the big plots in the movie for 1982 would have been very edgy.
Hmm.
Some might say it's still very edgy, depending on what side of the political fence you fall on. But we'll get into that when we get there. But I love this movie. It's a great soundtrack. Man, it's crazy. I had forgotten about the Cameron Crowe undercover detective, like it's 21 Jump Street, or
Yes.
what is that movie with the movie where God, I'm trying to think of. Drew Barrymore goes to high school as a news reporter. It's kind
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
the same thing. I had forgotten all about that, but yeah, that's interesting in itself. But this is a fun film. I have watched this a lot more recently than you because it comes on AMC constantly. And in fact, when I was looking to where to stream this, it's like, well, it'll be on at 12 o'clock on Friday on AMC. So for those of you out there that might still have cable, if you want to watch this at 12 o'clock on Friday, it'll be on.
Yeah. That Cameron Crowe, man, we've done Almost Famous here on the 6M Kids. It's in archives. But it kind of feels to me like the story of that guy's whole career was he was too young to do stuff. He's too young to be a rock reporter. He's too young to do this. You know what I mean? Like, it's like everything connected to that guy besides Jerry Maguire was he's too young and it's his age and it's how he looks and stuff. And I'm like, what weird things to be known for, dude. Do you know what I mean? It's so interesting.
The director of this film, going on to do Clueless, which would be in some ways probably more with my generation a bigger coming of age tale type film as well. One that's closer to when I would have been in high school than Fast Times. I was born in '88. This movie came out in '82, so it's a little different for me. But yeah, she went on to direct Clueless and also Look Who's Talking, which is kind of this being the directorial debut to go to. Look Who's Talking is kind of wild, but
True.
That's a fun movie as well if you like talking babies.
And who doesn't like talking babies? She also directed Johnny Dangerously. I think Johnny Dangerously, one of the most underrated comedies of all time. I love that movie.
It has been. I probably haven't seen that movie in 20 years, honestly. So that might be one I have to revisit soon.
You shouldn't hang me on a hook. My father hung me on a hook once. I love that bit. I don't know why it's still in my head. That's before Joe Piscopo got kind of weird and being like got ripped and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Michael Keaton in his prime back then, or not prime, but just coming up, making something of himself. So, well, kids, we know what you came here for. As we said before, this is a movie commentary, and this isn't meant to replace the audio, but it could if you wanted it to. But no, you don't have to, because we will be reacting in real time as we go. So you're going to get chunks of us maybe not saying a whole lot here and there because we're listening to the movie. So what you can do is you can watch this movie with us, turn your volume down, put this podcast in your ears. We're going to count you down in just a scoosh, and then we're going to give you markers as we go. If you're familiar with the 6M, if you ever heard audio commentary in your life, you know what all this is. So my apologies for over-explaining it. This is what I call Tom-splaining. Not really. I'll coin that. I just made that up.
Tom-splaining.
Right. Hey,
it's more effective when you go like the main event, when you really have to break down something. Maybe it's better used in that scenario.
I've considered talking about myself in the third person like The Rock. You know what I mean? I think the time has come. It's the Tom, right?
The Tom sounds too much like the Chad from Charlie's Angels. That bit. Was it the Chad?
Well, don't ruin that for me, man. Now it's took all my thunder. Now I don't want to do it.
The Tom.
By the way, kids, if you're going to watch this movie, as Chris said, you can watch it on the AMC if you can catch it. Or you're probably going to have to pay for it, I'd say, because it was a little bit of a challenge to find this sucker. We're watching this from a link. Not that we're advocating doing anything illegal. or nothing like that. So don't know anybody blowing up my email and stuff and shaking their fingers at me. I don't need the authorities pounding on this door. Can't make that joke in this day and age because it ain't funny no more. It was never funny, but especially not now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
So,
I own this on VHS, so I feel like that's free and clear, right? Like I bought it, should be able to
I'll
watch it anytime I want without having to break all of that equipment out.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. I'll allow it, but you watch your step, McCoy. All right. So this movie clocks in at 1 hour, 29 minutes, 38 seconds, at least by the count that I see, and probably what Chris sees too. So if you have any additional time on wherever you're watching it, or if you have less time, you might have a little bit of a problem syncing things up. But as I said, no worries. We're going to drop markers. Right now, I'm paused on a black screen, and when I hit play, it's going to go from black to the old Universal logo. So if that's what you have, you're good. But if you don't have that, get to black, and then when you hit play, it goes into the Universal logo, and you should be all synced up. So kids, here we go, and we're going to do the countdown, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then push play, not 1, 2, push on play on 3. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, push play. All right, kids, everybody, here we go. In 1, 2, 3, push play. All right, I got the stars on my screen.
Another good marker is as soon as you hear the Go-Go's,
Yes.
you're in the right spot. That's where we start.
You see Ridgemont Mall, that's my background for the pod here. And the van will come into play later. Look at that logo. That's quintessential 80s.
It's the Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band logo.
It is so. The Bob Seger. It's yeah. There was Judge Reinhold. I always liked Judge Reinhold, man. I've always liked that guy.
I love the captions on this side are giving me the lyrics to the song. That's
Same.
That doesn't always happen.
I love this song, man. Go-Go's are freaking awesome.
Yeah, before we actually started, you were talking about your one of your first crushes was a member of the Go-Go's.
Yes, the guitarist, Jane Wheedlin. Love her, man. Yeah, it was. I had several as a kid. I think Carrie Fisher was my first, if I'm being honest. My first real crush. As Princess Leia.
Man, do I miss old school video game arcades.
Same. Oh my God, so much.
Like new arcades like your Dave and Buster's of the world and such, they're all like ticket games.
Yeah.
But these, having actual arcade games, which there are a lot of retro bars now, like retro arcades and stuff. And there's 2 in Atlanta. They're pretty fun.
Has the mall life left Atlanta? Do you guys have any hanging on or no?
So there's near me, because I live in Gwinnett, which is kind of outside of the Atlanta perimeter. There's Gwinnett Place Mall, which is where they film Stranger Things, or did the mall for Stranger Things.
Nice.
Which is pretty much empty. Funny enough, it's right near, was it Crazy Horse? There was a big bar named Crazy Horse or Wild Horse where it's like a country bar, and that's where they did all of the FW or whatever the rival company in Heels was, where they recorded all that, and they're like in the same parking lot.
Wow.
That's kind of funny that they were doing all the recording there. And Cobb Galleria Mall was another big one. That one's completely empty. I think they're destroying that. But the biggest mall closest to us, it's kind of similar to like the Mall of America. It's massive. It's got like the big IMAX theaters, 3 stories tall. That one is still, I think, doing fairly well. That's the Mall of Georgia, which is in Beaufort, Georgia.
We still have a mall here in our town. It's just it's a 2-level. So I think this is Romanus, I believe. Is that who this actor is? I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to look that up before this as well because I could not remember his name.
He reminds me of that 80s comic. Was it Tyler Negron? I think is his name. He kind of favors him.
Also, like a young Christopher Moltisanti. from The
Yeah,
Sopranos.
wow, good call. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but you're right.
Also, why is this kid wearing a Montreal Canadiens jersey in Southern California in
Great question.
1982?
Great question. By the way, kids, Ridgemont Mall is actually Sherman Oaks Galleria. There in Sherman Oaks. Yeah, they're in the California. So there you go. Located Sherman Oaks neighborhood of Los Angeles.
So, did you have any kind of job like this when you were in high school? Like one of these sub restaurant? Because I kind of did. I worked at a famous the TCBY / Great American Cookie Company
Oh,
when I was 14 and 15.
I missed out on a lot of that, man. My first job I got when I was 16, I kept it for 2 years, and it was in a steakhouse. My second job I got when I turned 18, it was in the grocery business, and I stayed for 30 years. So I didn't have any of this. To be honest, I wish I'd had some of this. You know what I mean? Like being around kids my own age, maybe I wouldn't have been such an introverted guy, introverted kid, man, because I totally was.
Yeah, the Great American Cookie Company was a weird place to work. I'd spend like it'd be like 2 hours of me just doing Looney Tune stencils for birthday cakes. You know,
Interesting.
but yeah, there was a fun perk to that job where you would always get to take home the old cookies every night because they just throw them out.
Wow.
So like for the first 2 or 3 months, it was awesome, and then my family is like, "Don't bring home any cookies. Please stop."
Nice. So we've got Sean Penn with his shirt off. That's Spicoli. I love how as soon as they sat down, they all took their shirts off.
You all had shirts on when you came in here. Well, something happened to him, man.
Yeah. Eric Stoltz. Eric Stoltz, the future Marty McFly for about 15 minutes. Well, 2 weeks maybe. He was Marty McFly.
Yeah, what a weird world that would have been, right?
Right. Right. Yeah, he's playing I don't think his character has a name here. Let's see. Let's see the other guy. Can't find the other guy. Anthony Edwards. Anthony, what? How did I miss Anthony Edwards? Wow. Phoebe Cates, Jennifer Jason Leigh. Well, Jennifer Jason Leigh's had a big career, man.
Nicolas Cage is also in this movie,
He is.
which is kind of crazy. So like things that you forget about, and like I said, this soundtrack absolutely slaps. With some Tom Petty right here.
Back when you could have a soundtrack full of music and not have to like pay $1 million to each band or to each record label, right?
It's a cool scene. You get American Girl with Jennifer Jason Leigh kind of walking down the hallway for the first time, a little nervous. It's great.
It's
Fitting
perfect.
song.
This guy, I believe, Brian Backer. That's Mark Ratner. I believe that's Brian Backer.
Sorry, that was a good little gag there with the locker room kissing his penthouse
That's what I get for looking away.
fold.
Gotta love the 80s jeans on the girls where they're hiked all the way up to their navel.
Making a comeback, dude.
Are they?
See a lot of people wearing high-waisted jeans
Oh, God.
in the past few years.
Not that I need to see a female hanging out of her jeans. If she wants to wear them that way, perfectly fine. But yeah, the high waisted jeans just screams 80s to me for sure. Kind of like Eastwood. You know, as Eastwood got older, those pants started creeping up. Big time. Look at all those cars, man. Shut up. Look at that. Yeah.
Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am right here.
I'm saying. Forrest Whitaker, kids, is Charles Jefferson, star football player at Ridgemont High.
This car does not have the best time in this movie.
No.
Just to set it up.
Boy, Forrest Whitaker. You know who looks like Forrest Whitaker? Nobody. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and the same with Nick Cage. Like, a young Nick Cage is old Nick Cage. To me, there's no, that's him. You know what I mean? If you saw a kid's picture of Nick Cage, you go, oh, that's Nick Cage. You wouldn't have to guess.
I'm assuming that this is supposed to be like career day or something at the
I
beginning
think
of
so.
this.
Yeah.
Or maybe just club join. We did not have a whole lot of this at my high school.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot for me either. I mean, people worked at the mall and stuff. We had a mall in the town I grew up in that has closed years ago, and they just turned the whole thing into like some sort of medical complex or something. There's a van, kids. Hey. That image of doors opening and smoke come, that's a Cheech and Chong original image right there. They should have paid those guys some money for that bit. It's pretty good. Ray Walston, man, what a class. What just a classic guy, man. Look at him. Such
kind
a
of
different
intimidating.
kind of
He
role.
walks in and immediately locks the door behind him.
Yes. Can you attend my class? It's for your own good. If you can't make it, I can make you. He just took the hat off. Spicoli's walking down an empty hallway, kids, looking for the correct classroom. He opened that cigarette. Did you catch that? It was pretty good.
Yeah. Smelled it. You got to make sure there's no.
Yep. None of that monkey business going on inside those cigarettes. He just said that there would be no food in the classroom. Boy, that'll come back.
Yeah, it'll definitely come back.
Were you intimidated by your teachers, Chris, growing up? Did guys have that effect on you? Were you that kind of kid that you can get intimidated by teachers?
Not really. I kind of got lucky a lot. I was in a lot of AP classes, and those were generally the cooler teachers, anyways. So a little more laid back. Like as far as high school goes, I had some terrible teachers in middle school and elementary school, but I think everybody has that, right?
Sure. I had my coolest teachers were always the art teachers, and I took agriculture and horticulture. Those guys were always fun.
Those are the teachers I tended to have the most fun with. Would be like your theater teachers, the art teachers, and then like your Englishes, your English teachers and stuff. But those are also the classes I enjoyed the most.
Yeah,
I think that goes a long way, right?
Oh, for sure. Nose to nose with Spicoli, they got tension right away. He ripped up the card. Already got a problem with him. Did you so were you a class clown at all?
Not really.
No.
Yeah, generally stayed out of trouble for the most part.
I never got in trouble in school, dude. I was no kidding. I never got in trouble in school, so I couldn't call myself a clown. But if there was anybody laughing and cracking jokes, it was me. I may not have been the number one guy doing it, but I was always the number two guy doing it. You know what I mean? So you couldn't say Tom's the funniest kid here, but you could say Tom is pretty funny. So I was always like right there. You know?
I had a really bad problem with just sleeping through most classes. So
I did that. God, in high school, I had was it algebra that was right after lunch? The class right after lunch is death. That's murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, having math right after lunch is always a terrible idea.
Terrible idea. See, this is where, not that other coming of age movies didn't have this kind of stuff, but when I was a kid, I was like, oh my God, they're talking about Holy Lord, you know? Just freaking innocent kid, man. No clue what I was even looking at. And of course, there's guys watching them do this.
Yeah, don't bite it, Tom.
Look at the way they're all looking. Oh. A quart. This is all coming back to me now.
A quart or so.
And they're all clapping. That's great. That was a two-headed snake in that jar.
It's kind of crazy. It's just like when a guy has an orgasm, how much comes out? A quart or so.
Right?
That's a pretty wild measurement there.
Like, who in the world are you hanging out with? Jeez.
Also, the science class has like monkeys and like hippopotamus fetuses. Like high schools in California must be much nicer than
Yes.
Hall County, Georgia.
Dude, the only thing we had in biology class for me, we had to dissect a frog. That's all we had. We dissected a frog. And I just remember just being completely grossed out. Like, grossed out, man. But they got live monkeys here. Mustache coming in, he says. It's so funny, man. It took me forever to grow any kind of facial hair. And I kept thinking, yeah, it's looking pretty good. It was never looking good. And then, like, as soon as it started coming in, I'm like, all right, this sucks. I wish I didn't have this because it became so much work.
Yeah, if you want to just take clean shaving. I had sideburns in high school.
I did that.
And yeah, but you still have to shave everything else and keep those bad boys lined up. That's probably the most shaving I've ever done in my entire life. Was during high school. Because I've been mostly a bearded man.
I would imagine yours came in at like age 12. That's what I always pictured about you. So
yeah. Yep.
I had a friend of mine who always had a 5 o'clock shadow. He could shave, and when he's done, he's got a 5 o'clock shadow. I'm like, Chris, how in the world do you have a 5 o'clock? You know, but it was his skin, I guess, genetics. I don't know, but he always had it. Always.
Yeah, if I shave, like I have to shave every day kind of guy. If I don't, it'll be just like that, pretty much. So it's less effort to just not do it.
It is way less effort. See, and I'm gonna be straight with you. I missed out on a lot of this too, because like, yeah, I had friends. Did we sit around and talk about girls? I mean, yeah, but me and my friends were comic book guys, man. Like, and none of us were getting dates with anybody. My first real date was real honest to God date was after I graduated high school. Like, I talked to girls and stuff, but again, I was an introverted kid, man. Like, it took me a long time to come out of that shell.
I had like long relationships in high school, which I don't recommend for. If there's any kids out there listening heading into their because we're going to back to school right around the corner, right? Don't lock yourself down for multiple years with high school girlfriends. I had 2 really long high school girlfriend relationships.
I never had to worry about that because they didn't want anything to do with me, man. I was the comic guy and the pro wrestling nerd and the fat kid. And that's trifecta of hell right there when, in the 80s. Forget it. No one wants to touch you in the 80s. You ever are you a Jackson Brown fan, by the way?
Yeah. Like what, this song and Brown Eyed Girl, and that's kind of it?
See, to me, that's like, you know what I mean?
Also, this guy, see, this is the problem with the 80s. This dude is like 30.
Yeah. Yeah. Playing 16 or whatever. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I think his character is like.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Right. And he's dating like what is she, a sophomore in high school in this movie?
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff that, these 80s movies that like doesn't age well. So.
Also, more advice if there are any high school kids out there listening: don't take a girl to a baseball field.
No, I thought you were going to say don't do. I was going to say don't take drugs. I thought that was coming out of your mouth. Something else, kids. Don't do drugs. What was it? What was the movie? Was it Happy Gilmore? Who was it? Oh, it was Waterboy, wasn't it? And don't smoke crack. I can't remember what movie that came from. And the kids are like, okay.
That's a movie I haven't seen in a long time. I saw that movie in theaters, Waterboy, when I was a kid.
Brother, we were in a crowded theater, me and like 5 or 6 friends, and we were in like this third row from the screen because all the seats that were left. So I'm like sitting way back, like you're laying in bed, trying to, because it's all right there. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know if I can sit this close to a movie again. Holy Lord.
Yeah, that's an
Oh,
extreme, some very extreme close-ups of Feruza Balk.
yes. Talk about the bad girl. Fairuza Balk was the bad girl, man.
You ever seen that movie Deuces Wild?
I have not seen Deuces Wild.
It's got Steven Dorff and Feruza Balk, a couple other actors, but it's like a 1950s street gang movie.
Hmm. I love Steven Dorff. By the way, as this young precious girl's losing her virginity in a baseball dugout,
That's what I'm
she saw the
saying.
word surf Nazis in there.
Don't take it. If you're gonna do this,
Yeah,
don't
don't.
do it at a baseball field.
Yeah. If there's any place young girls dream of losing their virginity, it's a baseball field with a slimy 30-year-old dude
Yeah, be a gentleman.
who combs his hair a lot.
Better for this occasion.
Judge
He's
Reinhold,
so hyped about his car.
isn't he? Pretty sweet ride, though. Judge is Brad. I think we mentioned that earlier. Stacy's brother. You know, I think they look similar enough that they could maybe pass for. They're white kids who were very pale with brown hair. That's enough. So the cruising vessel. Yeah, it'll sit there.
Yeah, I'm froze up.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. What timestamp are you at right now?
I am at 2140
Okay.
and counting. Twenty-one 2151,
Okay,
2152.
I'm good. I'm like
Cool.
2 or 3 seconds off. It's not.
Okay. Yeah, dude, man, this is so odd. I didn't expect this movie to have this weird stuff for me, but like, man, I'm thinking I missed out on all the fast food job thing, man. Dang.
You worked at a steakhouse though. That's like you probably were making way better money.
I worked in the dish room in the first year there, and then last year there I was cooking. So at age 17, I'm cooking. Never cooked a thing in my life, and learned how to cook. I will say it taught me how to cook. Not everything, of course, but it gave me a good foundation anyway.
Yeah, I never had a fast food job. I worked at after TCBY Great American Cookie Company. I worked at Office Max, and I worked there until
Mm.
basically until I got my adult job.
Wow.
So long tenure there at 2 different locations as well.
Mr. Hands handing out papers. F, F. I don't think I know the Platt Amendment. How do I? Suddenly, I don't know even know what that is. See, if I'd listen, I'd find out. Bring, Like, what was that? Okay. Make it so. Truants. Oh, yep. By the way, Sean Penn is wonderful in this movie. In case anybody has a question, he's great in this movie.
I think we talked about this when we reviewed the Cars album,
I think you might be right.
and they did during COVID. They did a reread of the script
I saw
where he was doing the he was still doing the Spicoli voice and everything. It was great.
it's fun. Mr. Hand's not happy. He's writing, I don't know, on the blackboard and underlining it. He's like, all right. He's pretty happy with himself, isn't he? That's great. Those are my words up there. All right. It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
Yeah, we time skip here for a little bit where the Ron thing happened back in like the beginning of school, and we're at Christmas, and she
Yeah.
hasn't talked to him since like November, if I remember right.
Phoebe Cates is Linda, by the way, kids, in case we haven't mentioned. The pizza joint is Perry's Pizza. Brad's friend in the burger joint, that's Scott Thompson as Arnold. Something to brag about.
That's an arcade cabinet that you don't see very often. Gorf.
Mm. I miss the arcade. That's something else that was cool about the mall culture was the arcade. Of course, you know, like God, so much fun. When I started my first, like when I started actually working, man, I spent hours in the arcade. Way more than I should have.
Gorf is nothing special. It's very much like a crappier version of Galaga.
Mm. I
But
was going to say, I don't know that I'm familiar with that. Who's that voice? He sounds just like another actor. That voice, that tone of voice. And I can't place it.
I will say the pizza at this restaurant looks like high school cafeteria pizza
Hmm.
every time they show.
It's all square.
Yeah, it's like a.
Like Chef Boyardee pizza. Did you have the Chef Boyardee pizza in the box?
No.
That's before your time, I think.
Yeah, we definitely had square cafeteria, the almost fried pizza that you would
Now
get.
that stuff is wonderful. That is a magic That's a magic rectangle of goodness. It is great. If you had that pizza in the cafeteria growing up, kids, you'll never forget what it tastes like. I promise you.
Yeah,
But
it's
the
got
chef,
that government mozzarella on it.
yes, delicious. But that Chef Boyardee pizza in the box, you won't forget that either. But for very different reasons, because you're like, what's wrong with this pizza? You know what I mean? Like over processed, way over processed.
Brad is hilarious to me in this movie.
Hmm.
These inner monologues and conversations he has with himself are some of my favorite things in the film.
Good God. Don't do that. I was going to guess $2.12. That would have been my guess. He beat me. There we go. Yeah. That was great.
Mister, I'll
Use
make you
profanity.
100% of your ass.
That's great. Threaten me with violence. This is Tom Nolan as Dennis Taylor. Schmuck. Yeah, that's the problem with people. People suck. That's, people come into fast food places and grocery stores and retail stores and just they think they own the place. Like you do not. Oh, this is good. This is classic Spicoli. Look at this.
Danger is my
Oh,
business.
it's great. Oh,
So,
oh, that didn't age well.
yeah.
I got this from the network. Let me ask you.
When I was a kid, I grew up in a house that also had these paneled walls. It's Spicoli has in his bedroom.
Same. Very much the same. 100%. Trailer, actually. But my walls weren't as nicely decorated as his.
I had posters. not to the same level that he's got going on there, but there was definitely posters and such. But yeah, my house was also it was a trailer house. It was a trailer that had been built onto
A foundation. Yeah.
yeah, like around it, and but yeah, it had that same kind of panels. If you've ever been in a house like that, you'll be very familiar with the way that they feel and read to touch.
Yes, the way
Like,
they, yep, they bounce, yep. And you can't hang anything. Like forget you can't. If we drive a nail, it'll either go all the way in or it won't go at all. And you're like, what is going on? Like,
yeah, you got to use that like sticky putty stuff.
yes, which is, I tried hanging posters with that stuff for years and it never worked out. Not full time anyway.
Spicoli seems like a duct tape guy.
For sure. This is Amanda Weiss as Lisa. She was also Tina in A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh yeah, she totally was. Wow, I didn't even notice that until you said it. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Jeez.
So just a time check with you because I did get some freeze.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at 36:12.
Yeah, you're about 4 ahead of me.
Yeah.
4 seconds. We got Zeppelin in a movie.
You get Zeppelin in a movie, and it's part of the famous 5-point plan.
Yes.
I was talking about. This is how this came along. It's like Mike's famous 5-point plan.
Because this was Zeppelin supposedly had a problem with their music being in movies. Like, and Jack Black made a video, begging them to use Immigrant Song in School of Rock. And when they sent the video to the band, thought it was the coolest thing ever, and they said absolutely, because they were very selective about who used their music in their movies.
I remember, like, I know that I don't know how much they own of their own music. That's the caveat, right? So if they don't own the rights to that song, it doesn't really matter at that point.
Weird. Well, Immigrant Song was also in Thor. And
it was also in the Destiny 2 commercial. So
there you go. Yeah.
Control they have on how much control they have over their own music. I'd have to do some research to dig that out.
I thought Jimmy Page owned everything. Not like I own it and you guys are poor. Not like that. I thought Page owned all the publishing. Maybe I'm wrong. Because I think that was a deal he made when the Yardbirds became Zeppelin. Is because they wanted out of the band, so Jimmy got everything because they didn't think the band was going to go anywhere. Payphones. Oh my God. Were payphones before your time? Don't tell me.
No, kind of the tail end, though. By the time I was in high school, people had cell phones pretty. The Nokia 510s or whatever, the bricks.
Yeah.
I remember, like, by the time I was junior, senior, like everyone had kind of moved to Motorola Razors.
Buddy, I spent some serious time on payphones talking to girls. I'm not kidding.
So Warner Music Group / Atlantic Records own the master recordings,
Mm.
and then Warner Chappell Music owns a lot of the publishing rights
Mm.
for Led Zeppelin specifically.
Oh,
It does own
where's this?
like wait, Jimmy Page's super hype tapes. He okay, it says he owns a lot of the publishing rights as well to Led
Mm.
Zeppelin. So it is split though. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. By the way, does he know that Robert was her first? Has he shared that with him? Because I do not know that. Because he just kind of crashed their date and then took off.
No, I don't think that he knows that.
I told you I have no memories. I have very few memories of this movie.
Well what happened was this idiot left his wallet, so Timpone had to bring his wallet or whatever.
Right. The high school that Cameron Crowe attended that we mentioned at the beginning of the show was Claremont High School in San Diego. He went undercover to do research for the book titled Fast Times at Ridgemont High, a true story about his observations of the high school and the students that he befriended there, including then student Andy Rathbone, on whom the character Mark Ratner was modeled. Universal executives recommended David Lynch as a director, and Crowe met with Lynch. Though Lynch liked the idea, he passed on directing. David Lynch directing Fast Times at Ridgemont High would have been interesting.
It would have been a way different movie.
Yeah,
Not as comedic, I wouldn't think.
I would think. Yeah.
Which like I said, there's some you know, there's some more dark subject matter in this in comparison to like a John Hughes film for sure.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah. This is Nicolas Cage's first film. I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah, he's like 17 in this movie.
Yeah.
Just crazy. Yeah, so I'm seeing the same thing as you, where it's like they're notoriously selective. It's talking about the Jack Black plea.
Yep.
But I mean, there's lots and lots of usage of Led Zeppelin and other things. So it's kind of weird. And also, it says they own the core.
I think you might be froze up. That's the beauty of technology. It could be on my end. Kids, as we record this, we use streaming platform, as you probably can tell. And sometimes if the internet is weird, things tend to freeze. So that's probably what's going on right now. But hang with us because I'm not going to edit any of this out, because if I do, then the timing's going to be all screwed up. And we don't want to do that, do we? So we keep on trucking. We keep on keeping on, as they say. So, yeah, as we said, this is Nicolas Cage's first movie. He's credited as Nicholas Coppola because we know he's the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola, I think. And we know that later Nicholas Coppola changed his name to Nick Cage because Nick Cage is a big comic book guy. So he changed his last name because of Luke Cage, which is pretty darn cool, I think. So he's left the bedroom. He's now walking out the front door of her house, leaving her to wonder what just happened. That way, there's your marker, kids. You'll know where you're at this point in time. And she's turning off her lights. There you go. There we go.
Our network drops for like no reason.
Yeah, I'm showing a weak signal on my end, so hopefully I won't come out looking fuzzy when all this is published.
What was the timestamp?
So right now I am at 43-28 and counting. 43, 32, 33, 34,
Very
35. Yep. Look at that car. Are you kidding? Have you ever owned a muscle car, by the way?
No. I've
Very
owned a
quick
lot
answer.
of SUVs and older SUVs. Like I've had several Blazer S10 Blazers.
Oh.
I had an S10 pickup truck. I
Hmm.
had the car I probably spent the most time with was a 1997 Jeep Cherokee that had 330,000 miles on it before it died.
Wow. I've always wanted an older Bronco when they were still boxy. You know what I mean? The older boxy Bronco, like before all the cars got round edges on the front and back. I just always wanted one. Never got one. Never even drove one.
So
I've
like more
always
of
wanted a muscle car too, though.
the
So
big like 70 square
yeah,
body Broncos. Okay.
yeah. Fill them up with gas today. It costs you $400. Heck yeah. Kill a tree. Kill the environment. No. My dream
Yeah.
car is a '66 Mustang. If I'm being real, that's my dream car. Oh, there goes the car. Ah, look, buff that out. It'll be fine.
This has my favorite. This is probably one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie.
He's gonna kill us.
Just be glad I had fast reflexes.
I don't have this actor's name. This young actor.
My old man is television repairman.
That's funny.
Phew.
Kill Lincoln. Look at that shirt. And the back of the shirt. And stepping right. Yeah. Assassinate Lincoln. My God. Kill him.
To be fair, Spicoli doesn't fix the car, but he does fix the situation. So props.
This guy's taking bets on this. He's a bookie of the school.
Yeah, and he's apparently really terrible at it.
Yeah.
Scalping and booking.
Look at this. Brilliant. Fire up the class. Fire up the team. I like how Spicoli's wearing black with a toboggan like he just robbed a bank or something. I'll blend into the crowd.
Just like his first thought was, my dad's a TV repairman. I can fix this.
That's awesome.
Got a killer set of tools.
Yeah, this young man is full of fury. Ready to kill somebody. I was saying earlier, Chris, that Nicolas Cage was credited as Nicholas Coppola because that's his name. And as we know, as fanboys, we know that he changed his name later to Cage because he's a comic book guy and he's a fan of Luke Cage. So that's pretty cool. I love that dive over the team. That was awesome.
What was like I mean, I guess what his first big breakout would have been Raising Arizona, right? For Nick Cage?
I think so. Why do I want to say it was a vampire movie, or am I thinking of Jim Carrey? Vampire's Kiss was Jim Carrey, wasn't it?
No, he did Vampire's Kiss. That's Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
I'm a vampire.
Yeah. These twin guys, same shirt and everything. Clam Witch. By the way, Taylor Negron is in this movie. He's the pizza delivery man for the Pizza Guy restaurant.
I'm looking at all of Nick Cage's credits here, so it's taking a. He's done a lot.
He's only made like 500 movies.
Yeah, so Raising Arizona came out in '87, and then Moonstruck would have been '87 as well. So that I'm going to give that as his big breakout year.
That sounds about right.
And then before that, the only one that I can really that looks notable besides this movie, which he's barely in, would be Rumblefish, which is the sequel to The Outsiders.
I don't think anybody remembers that movie.
It's got Tom Waits in it.
Man, we're getting ready to have one of the defining moments for many young men back in the 80s. I don't know if it's right now, but it's coming. As a young man, I remembered that part of the movie quite fondly.
That's what brought this up with us is like I said, we were talking about the Cars and specifically the Phoebe Cates
yeah.
came up during that conversation.
Yeah. Because the music is freaking. You hear that song, that's what you think of. Has to be noted about how short the shorts used to be on men in the 80s. Like the NBA, they look like they're wearing like boxers the whole time. Like
a lot of people credit Michael Jordan for the shorts getting longer.
Uh-huh.
And the reason being is I just read this the other day, actually, because in Space Jam, he says, I always wear my North Carolina shorts underneath my bull shorts. So they made the bull shorts longer. And then that in itself, I think, changed the style of how people wear shorts.
Yeah, he changed a lot of things. He wore a gold chain as he played, and they didn't want him doing that, but he did it anyway. Like, he set the trend, man, for a lot of stuff, for sure.
Poor Brad's going to dress like a pirate now.
Yeah. I love how the bandana is printed onto the outfit. It's not part of the gear.
It's like one of those tuxedo shirts.
Yeah. It's going to drive me crazy whose voice that guy sounds like. I'll never think of it.
Now, I will say this is a little creepy of Brad, considering he's a senior in high school at this point.
I mean,
he's spying on...
God, I freaking love the song. This is Moving in Stereo by the Cars, kids. If you don't know it, shame on you. But again, this right here, we got to set the table. Yeah, this is really happening. I like how it's just there's mist coming down from nowhere.
It's been a long time since I've seen this movie uncensored now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, because you can't do nothing on cable TV. You kidding? Nothing. Well, you can now. You couldn't then.
That. They're still kind of soft about that on AMC, where this will be showing at 12 o'clock on Friday.
And of course, the lesson learned here.
Lock the door.
Lock the door.
But also, as Brad says, doesn't anybody knock?
Yeah, well, that's fair. If a bathroom door is locked, especially if it's a house that I don't live in, I'm not just going to open the door.
Like shut without knocking, yeah.
Right? Another big moment of the film is coming. Something this movie was remembered for too. That darn smile. Look at him. 1904. United States side throw a little weight around. Now he gets a knock on the door. And guess who? This is Taylor Negron. There he is. Pizza guy. Right here, dude. It's great.
I think he pays him like partially in change as well.
He's like, for you, dude. No. Our time. That our timeline is great.
Certainly, there's nothing wrong with a little feast on our time.
The our timeline is basically a middle finger without it being a middle finger. Excuse me, sir. But look at that pizza.
Now, I will point out there is no double sausage on this pizza.
Not at all. There's no sausage on the pizza that I can see.
It's just a cheese pizza.
Yeah. Okay, so the last time I ate today was 9:15. Yeah, that pizza's killing me.
I had 2 empanadas at lunch.
Ooh.
Or actually Jamaican meat pies.
Same thing.
Like very similar.
I had an everything bagel and some cream cheese. There's a coffee place not far from here, and their everything bagel is divine. It's so good.
I got some. I'm gonna be. They're kind of lazy today. I'm making like the box jambalaya. It has some chicken and apple sausage.
Oh, nice.
That's happening right after this.
This stroll down memory lane.
And New York Bakery Texas toast, the garlic Texas toast. That's gonna be the bread.
Feel free to stop anytime talking about what you're going to have, because this is not easy to be sitting here hearing. I got some saltines on my desk. I guess I can make that happen. Saltines. So.
Yeah, that's always the best food to eat during a podcast or something where you have to talk a lot. Some
right?
salted crackers.
I used to keep a can of mixed nuts on my desk. But again, as a podcaster, the more salt you have, the more dried out your throat gets. So that's never a good plan. So, but they're quite delicious, I will say. I was just going to make a statement of, I don't know if they make these kind of coming of age teen movies anymore, but they do. It's just, it's a different vibe, right? It's not exactly the same. Hair changes, clothes change, but the themes are the same, right? Like you got a crush, or you're trying to feel your way around high school or stuff. Like Superbad's a good example of that. It was different, but like it's still a lot of the same kind of vibe, you know?
There's a lot of shows. I mean, like even something like more recent, like We Were Liars or whatever, is kind of still in that same wheelhouse. I think it's more just like you don't get just straight. The setting is just high school, right? Like,
Right. So they're in the pool house, and things is about to start happening. You could tell because Jackson Brown's singing again.
Never Have I Ever is a great coming of age TV show that's kind of very high school relationship centric.
I've not seen that.
Highly recommend that one. It's a Netflix show. It's a real fun show.
I like the pink socks.
He made it like 30 seconds into a Jackson Brown show or song.
That's what Jackson Brown will do to you. You know what I mean?
Did you feel it? I guess I did.
I think it's probably a good move that you just go ahead and go. It's probably a really good move. I love how they immediately go back and start asking each other. Let me ask you a question. How long,
What is this? Just like a giant salami?
I thought it was bologna. I think it's bologna.
It's bologna, but they work at a pizza joint, don't they?
You're right. Maybe it is salami, but why in the world would they? Yeah, I don't know.
I guess they square cut it.
Maybe.
Put on their square pizza. This pizza place has an aversion to anything round.
Yeah, right. You're right. Yeah. Oh my God. Good point. Yeah. Said I haven't seen you for a while. We've done another time jump.
Yeah, they tend to do that quite a bit in this, which I guess I never noticed really.
Aye, aye, sir. That'd be pretty cool to have a job where you had to say, aye, aye, sir.
I like he's like changing.
Ah, Captain Hook fish and chips.
Do you have any Long John Silver's or Captain D's in your neck of the woods still?
They used to run fairly rampant through my neck of the woods, and now they are few and far between.
I feel like it's like an old Southern person restaurant. I never see any young people whenever I've entered a Captain D's or Long John Silver's in the past 10 years.
Dude, when I was growing up, we kept Long John Silver's in business like all the time. As you know, the problem is with most seafood places, by the time it hits your table, it ain't seafood anymore. It quit being fish years ago or whatever long they've had it. Deep frying the life out of it. You know what I mean? Nuclear.
Which I think is fine for those kind of places. I mean, it's just frozen fried fish, right?
It's not that it wasn't delicious. Don't get me wrong, but like
you get the what is it, the Admiral's basket from Captain D's, and it's just like 6 different fried things. It's like
right,
here's 3 fried fish fillets, some fried clams, some fried shrimp.
right. This is where he decides I can no longer be a clown. I
Yeah.
can't dress like Patchy the Pirate on SpongeBob anymore. And he was throwing the stuff out the window.
Yeah, because the girl looks over at him with the hat on. He's like, I can't do this.
Yep. I'm doing business, he says. Another 80s staple are the socks that go all the way up to the knee. I had them.
I'm glad that I didn't have to experience that time period with these tall
Yeah.
chicks. That would drive
did
me
it.
crazy.
She just told him she's pregnant, kids. A serious coming of age film now. It's got real.
Yeah, and he did the complete thing you shouldn't do as a guy in this situation to ask, how do you know it's mine? Don't maybe.
Right. It's like, she came to talk to you. Why would she just come to you and go, I'm pregnant and it's another guy's baby? Like, wait a minute, what? You know,
I know it happens, but this is also high school, right? Like the
sure.
likelihood of it doesn't sound free to me.
When you don't mess around and do stuff like this in high school, you tend to not have to worry about stuff like this happening to you. I'm
Well,
not
that's
judging. I'm just
boring.
saying. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. Hey, I had a couple of scares later on in my later years of my dating life. I had 2 scares actually. Thankfully, nothing materialized because nothing happened. But I mean, if it had, it would have been. It would have. I don't know what would have happened, but like, you know, uh, I love my kid, and that was all planned. So
Did it the right way, Tom.
funny how things work out. So
Use protection, kids, as you.
yes, just say no. That's another thing. You can say yes, but just be careful. Do I hear
So,
Fleetwood Mac,
uh,
or is that
yes,
just Stevie Nicks?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't know that I'm super familiar with this song.
Well, we see that Mike didn't show up. Aw. Mike's a scumbag, kids. In case you need to know or didn't know, now you know.
He's
He's
definitely
dropping
not
them
a
off.
great guy, but he is also a high school kid who's trying to round up $75 for this thing and just
Hmm.
doesn't have the $75.
Now he sees that his sister's running back across the road. He's trying to figure out what's going on.
Brad's a pretty good brother, though. We can't
He
say
is.
that.
Hmm. That's right. You tell him.
Stacy, he's not a guy. He's a little prick.
Linda's that friend that'll throw the first punch. That's who that friend is. You know what I mean? She'll have your back and she'll throw the first punch against someone coming at you. That's the friend you want right there.
I like that he tapes cardboard over.
It's good. I love how they just leave their windows down because back then you can trust people.
Yeah,
No car alarms or anything.
this is not. His day doesn't get any better.
No. Ah ha ha. Graffiti. Oh. Yeah, I think Linda got a measure of revenge for her friend. It's fine. I didn't even call her.
It's a cool Popeye shirt, by the way.
I'd noticed that.
I think it's like the Robin Williams Popeye too.
It is totally the Robin Williams Popeye. Every shirt in the 80s looked just like that. That press on. I had many of them. And you wash them a few dozen times or whatever, and they're all cracking and stuff, you know. You done effed around, Damone. You asked for it.
I like Rat fights like an old timey boxer.
Yeah, he does. He does. How about you? Yeah. Scumbag.
I've said that line so many times because of this movie. I woke up in a great mood. I don't know what the hell happened.
Vincent Schiavelli, born to be in horror, born to be the creepy guy because of his look. Great actor, man. I'm telling you, character actor, awesome. Love that guy. Look how normal he is in this movie.
Yeah, it is. It is strange. Very fitting as the character, though. Yeah, I never got to go to a morgue in high school. That would have been fun.
What high school lets you do? It got monkeys and corpses. I mean, what's going on in this high school? What? You in my class? I love how it's Spicoli shirt says sex wax on it.
Which is a surfing wax company, right?
I assume, yeah.
You don't get much surfing out here in Georgia.
No, I imagine not. Arthur was good enough to die last week of heart failure. Arthur really did us a favor. I am now remembering this.
So we did when I was in high school. We went to the Bodies Museum, the Bodies exhibit. Have you ever saw or heard anything about that?
No, I have not. What is it?
So they found this way to like kind of show the human anatomy and bodies like in this state that'll stay the same, I guess, forever. It's like a Chinese company that did it originally, but there's a whole exhibit.
Wow, I've never heard of this.
That would be the closest to something like this that we did in high school.
Wow. I think it's one of the reasons I could never go in the medical profession back in the day, or never wanted to. Like the ability to be able to distance yourself from it all. I just don't know if I would have had the ability to do that.
Yeah, so that exhibit it it's so what it does is they take real human bodies that have been preserved through a process called plastination. That's what it was.
Interesting.
So you can see all of like the veins, and they have them on like different, like they have them like bicycles to show how the different muscles flexed and stuff. It's kind of it was crazy. It was cool though.
Wow.
I think it's there's still one in Atlanta. I think they're still doing it after all these years. So if you're ever down this way and want to see something crazy, actually, I take it back. There's one in Las Vegas. Now I don't know if the one in Atlanta still exists, but it did for years and years.
I've never heard of it. This brings back memories. I let a girl sit behind me in U.S. history class and cheat off me all the time.
I
And
like
I
if you had a
never,
backup plan of just also just write it on your thigh.
right? I probably never had a shot with her, but I liked her. But what I would do is put my work over here, and then she'd just look over around the corner. But I let her cheat off me all the time. I'm so wasted. That's Patrick Brennan as Curtis.
Get out of here, Curtis. I don't hear you unless you knock.
Oh, uh Spicoli's not even on the same planet as Mr. Hand
No.
right now. No, this is not the Eagles.
No, it's a cool version of the song though.
I knew when it started it wasn't them. God, that dancing. I never went to one dance. I didn't go to any prom. That's the loser I was.
I went to all of the dances. I went to prom 3 years. You're really only supposed to go
Really?
your junior and senior year, but I was dating a senior or a junior my sophomore year. She got voted to the homecoming court, and that was a whole other thing. It was
I bet.
not my scene.
Yeah. Mike's trying to make it right. This went very well.
It's kind of funny that Mr. Hand ends up being like a pretty cool teacher,
Right?
all things considering, because there's no way Spicoli should be passing that
No
class.
chance. Yeah. Yeah, they ended up fine. I remember that now. They ended up okay. Crazy. Uh-oh. There's a freaking bus, man. Boy, that bus right now in that shape, 100 grand.
They have went up in
Crazy.
prices like over the past 30, 40 years for sure.
The more glass, the more windows it has, the higher it is supposedly, because they're the rarest, I believe. You could buy them in a junkyard in terrible shape and still get thousands of dollars for it.
I just never understood the want for a van that has 50 horsepower and weighs. It's basically got a Volkswagen Beetle engine in it, and it weighs twice as much.
My stepdad had a VW bus, and when I started driving, I drove it. It's got a lot of room. It don't have a lot of pick up and go, of course, but I loved it actually. I really did. He had it for a long time too. It was red with the white on top.
My grandparents had one of those Chrysler vans with the wood paneling all over it.
Oh wow!
And then after they had this Chevy Astro van that kind of looks like a spaceship.
I know what you're talking about.
And since I've seen some saw one at a car show that they had done that, and they made it look like the escape ships from Star Trek Next Gen. I was like, that's pretty cool. They had like
Nice.
the space numbering and stuff on it.
My papa had a station wagon. It was blue with the wood paneling on the side, but it wasn't like the station wagon. It was like one of those compact station wagons, like the shorter version, you know?
Yeah, my grandmother had one that was like that too. It was like, but it was like this ugly green color, like almost like an emerald green, but it did have the wood panel just on the sides of the door, not like fully decked out.
Yeah. That sounds right. Yeah. A Ford, I think it was. I think. I tell you what, if we haven't said it out loud, Phoebe Cates in the '80s is the cutest girl you've ever seen. Right? Like
Yeah.
baby doll cute, which sounds way creepier than it should have sounded. But yeah.
Also, the second time we've covered one of her films because we did Gremlins. We
That's right.
do Gremlins too.
We've only done the first one, right?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be much better than RoboCop 2. I think it'll be a much better experience for it.
I feel like every time we record, the RoboCop 2 joke has to be made by somebody because it's appropriate.
I just honestly did not remember how bad
Yeah.
RoboCop 2 was. I thought it was like, not as good as the first one, but way better than the third one. So if the third one must be really awful.
Well, we'll find out next year. We've committed to 1 year apart. We'll do part 3 next year. We'll find out together. So I've watched movies where I've been like a third of the way through out loud. I'll say like, wow, this is really bad. Like,
Yeah,
man, this is bad.
I might have to do some heavy drinking to make it through RoboCop 3.
Which is what I imagine the cast and crew had to do as well. I don't know.
Probably. That's probably a fair assumption.
Another big moment coming up here, kids. Big moment. Another defining moment here for Brad. Oh, I knew it. Why is there a platter of cookies there?
Maybe they just give out free cookies for customers.
That'd be great. Take me to that
I
place.
can't remember what hotel it is, but there's a hotel that it may have been one of the Hiltons. Every time you check in, they ask you if you want a cookie.
Wow.
When I was traveling a lot for work, this would have been years ago. That was the thing that they did.
Spicoli's going to use the bathroom. A car is pulling up dangerously close to the front door. Well, we don't know what's happening, kids. This is James Russo is the actor. It's about to, he just sprayed the camera. It's pretty smart, actually. Ooh, hey. You know, if you're a bad guy, what really works well is screaming and throwing things.
Yeah.
That tends to help people calm down and focus on cracking the safe for you. You know. There goes his ride.
All right, Hamilton.
Pat Hamilton made manager of Mighty Mart June 12th. Mike Damone busted for scalping Ozzy Osbourne tickets, now working at 7-Eleven. This is a trend, too, through the years of telling you what happened to the characters. Mr. Vargas switched back to coffee.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
on
my
Sega
God.
for a while there.
Yeah. I live with abnormal sight, Professor. Having a passionate love affair. I like that they got a happy ending.
Yeah, it's fun that they had a happy ending.
Mr. Hand convinced everyone is on dope. So nothing changed. Say Brooke Shields from drowning, blows reward money to bring up.
I know, I love his ending.
It's a great ending.
Kills from drowning.
And to him, it was a perfect night.
For blows the money getting Van Halen to play party.
It's great.
Yeah. What a fun film.
Man, I got to tell you, man, this gave me a lot of memories, and wow, it's funny how you watch something that's connected to growing up or to other things, and just kind of takes you back in time.
Yeah, it holds up. It's all Nicholas Coppola. There he is, right there.
Yeah,
Nick Cage himself.
Brad's
Yeah,
bud.
It led the way for other high school films. I mean, you don't get all the John Hughes films if this movie wasn't at the end a success. So
There you go. All right, kids. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I kind of feel like we talked more about the movie than the movie itself.
yeah,
And other stuff, you know.
yeah, for sure. But I mean, it is one of those movies. It's pretty linear in what's going on.
Yep.
But funny. Yep. It's got its great funny moments. I love the way that all of Jennifer Jason Leigh's friends kind of rally around her and her brother that's in her time of need. It's kind of cool. And you get this Spicoli interaction with Mr. Hand, and you find out Mr. Hand's not all that bad of a guy. That's fun. But yeah, I mean, it's a real fun 100, what was like an hour and 20 minutes straight. So if you've never seen it and you've listened to all of this, you probably did not learn a whole lot. As you said, Tom, we did not. This isn't an easy enough movie to really break down. There's not a lot of like special effects or anything going on to kind of talk about, but hopefully it was entertaining for everybody out there.
Well, and it's not very deep. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of exposition happening. There's not a lot of, I mean, the situations are kind of the way the story moves. I think it doesn't stay in one place for too very long. So you get to learn some of the characters, but you don't get so deep that you know everything about them. So like, it kind of bounces, but I mean, it's like, I can't imagine, at least my childhood growing up without that movie have played some kind of part in it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those movies.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. It's really funny because the movies that they have underneath it are like Say Anything, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and those are all also kind of the same deal. It's like, here's a 120-minute movie. I wish there was more of that nowadays. Like, here's just a fun comedy flicky. There's just not enough of them out there. We've talked about that in the past. not getting great comedy films like you used to.
And I think Superbad is a great example of a movie that like was a little foul, a little dirty, but also very funny and like had teenagers in it, you know. So like yeah, they're still out there. Like that new Naked Gun reboot's coming, and I did a review of it on YouTube, but like a review of the trailer. I don't know. Part of that stuff, like that stuff, worked with Leslie Nielsen in the '90s, but I don't know if it's going to work now. Like I feel like audiences have changed, and is there still a place for crude humor and weird jokes? Like maybe I don't know. You know what I mean? Like maybe it'll be a hit. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's still room for it, right? It's just everything now. It seems like they just want to tie everything to an IP of some sort, which is
Yeah,
more of the problem. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. We will see. Maybe we'll get another great coming of age high school comedy. I wouldn't.
mm,
I don't know. I don't know what that would look like now.
that's a good question. I have no idea. Um,
Never Have I Ever would be a great platform to look at and say, hey, this can still be done. So done in a really funny way. I highly recommend that for anyone that's looking for something like this, a show, or uh, most recently, that's been the one that I've enjoyed the most.
hmm. Well, yeah, they still exist in some form or fashion. I think you're right. I think it can work. It's just, times have changed. I won't say they've evolved. I don't know. Some things don't really change. A lot of the themes in this movie, high school dating and all that stuff is timeless and will never change. Whether it's gay or straight or whatever it is, you're still going to have those themes like, kids trying to understand who they are and how they fit in their own skin and where they fit in the world. Like, man, that brings back stuff. Holy Lord. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but growing up's overrated as well, kids. I don't recommend anybody doing it. Uh, I would. It's a trap, as they say. It's a trap. Don't grow up. You'll regret it. Uh,
Well, Tom, unfortunately, there's no Peter Panning your way out of growing up.
I submit there is, but I just never found it. You know what I mean? I never found it. I think it's out there, but it never crossed my path. So, all right, kids. Well, there you have it. There is our movie watch along. If you're listening to the audio version of this, the video should be available, and if it's not, keep your eyes open. That way, you can see us on camera talking about it, not just hearing us in your ears talking about it. But before we get out of here, Chris, let's get, if you've got anything else, your last word on Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
It's classic. I mean, there's so many classic moments in the scene. The ordering the pizza in the classroom, the car, TV repairman, great set of tools. It still holds up. Those are the things that immediately come to mind. I think that anyone who grew up in the 80s or 90s have seen this film, and if anything, you gave those box office numbers, it became more of a cult thing than what it did at the box office. But yeah, I mean, it gave us great Phoebe Cates moments.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
I don't know. It's just a fun flick. It's got a great soundtrack, so it's definitely got that going for it. But yeah, I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say other than it's a really really fun movie. I mean, and I think I consider it. I definitely consider it an '80s comedy classic for sure.
I agree with that. And we've done some deep stuff on the 6M, but this is definitely not one of them. And that's okay. Stuff can be lighthearted. It's fine. But I'll tell you this, no matter how much we enjoyed this and it's a classic and it's fun and stuff, it's no RoboCop 2, I'll tell you. So
that's a good thing though.
I'm just saying.
That's how we should rate. We should start watching things that are bad to see if we can find anything that is as bad as RoboCop 2.
Yeah.
In retrospect.
Start using the movie title as an insult. Boy, they RoboCop that all to heck, didn't they? You know what I mean? Like RoboCop 2 it. I don't know. I'm going to workshop it and come back and we'll figure it out. All right, kids, there you go. There's your film. There's your watch along. Thanks as always for sharing the pod and for downloading and subscribing and all that stuff. Be sure to share this with a friend so they can find out about it too. Remember to check us out on the YouTube, subscribe there. Everything's free of charge, no paywall. There, have fun, lots of content dating back 11 years. And yeah, bunch of podcast episodes to keep you busy on an open weekend or through the week or whatever you got. Stay tuned for a lot more. But for now, that is Fast Times at Ridgemont High.